Is RetroYuuki Productions going back to its roots, or are we about to go to a new direction? Today is a special edition of the RetroYuuki Roundup show on June 5th, 2023, and we're going to be talking about the direction of RetroYuuki Productions and RetroYuuki Gaming and our other content. First off, let's take a look at the content currently on the channel as of June 5th, 2023. So obviously a lot of you guys enjoy the VR chat material, which I do appreciate. However, is it the top content on the channel? The answer is no. But wait, didn't you just publish a video called Fiona Awakens Child True Form in VR chat and it has 72 views? Yes, I did that. As you can see, 7 days ago, exactly a week ago. But it has the most views, or does it? Take a look at this. Does it have the most views now? Mude Discord Bot Beginner's Guide has the most views 10 months ago than the recently uploaded Fiona the Fox video. What's going on here? Well, I'll tell you exactly what's going on here in a moment. Let's talk about the content. So obviously a lot of you guys, if for those of you who are brand new to the channel, have been noticing more VR chat content than back in the day of tutorials. What is the reason behind this? The reason behind this is obvious. In 2021, we discovered VR chat as a community. And ever since 2021, we started making more VR chat content all the way up to present. And speaking of VR chat, now that a big project is starting very soon, that being Emerald Peace, we're gonna have a lot of VR chat content on the main channel. However, there is a little bit of a sidekick, in the way of tutorials, as you can see here. Now you've been wondering, how did this happen? The tutorials. For that, you have to go way back than 2021. You have to go back to 2020. And more particularly, when I first started redoing this channel as a tutorial channel. So back then, I was still doing the Mudebot tutorials. I'm still doing them today. It's just that it's been a while since I did one, because there's no new updates. Now there is one, and I'm gonna make a video for that later. But to be perfectly honest, tutorials are still #1 content, and I'm gonna show you guys the numbers on that in a moment. Also on the channel, we have our reaction videos for Francis the Hedgehog. That's still going to happen. I'm not going to remove that, although I might be putting it more on the Francis the Hedgehog channel than here. We're still going to have the Roundup show. That's not going to change. The RetroYuuki podcast is still going on. I'm still thinking of new topics to cover. But it's been a little bit, so we'll see if I'm going to continue that. Infinite Visits DeviantArt. I'm still doing this. However, it might be a little bit before I start doing this again. I have to find a common ground schedule for this. Because it could be Infinite, it could be Francis the Hedgehog. I'm still thinking. Then we have our channels here. We have RetroYuuki, we have RetroYuuki World, we have RetroYuuki, VR Chat Productions. But basically what we have on the main channel. Francis the Hedgehog. We also have Francis the Wolf. So all these other channels I have are still on the board for now. I'll explain why I'm changing some material in a bit. If we look at RetroYuuki 64, it's exactly the same thing, except it's for Mario 64 ROM hacks. And you guys enjoy most of this. So you may be wondering what happened yesterday. Why did I not do not VR chat, but Mario? Because I was supposed to. Well, because I wanted to try to experiment with some content on Facebook. We did live editing of one of the videos for VR chat. We did not do that bad, but Facebook, of course, being Facebook, does not push us out. So I'm thinking of trying out a live video editing session with you guys on YouTube, but not today. That's not going to be until we record more videos with with the Wolf Ventures. But speaking of ROM hacks, let's take a look at what's been happening on the Mario channel to give you an insight on the direction we are going. First off, as you can see, we have our mini ROM hacks. These are ROM hacks that have less than 7 stars, 7 stars or less in the ROM hack. And the latest one I uploaded is Captain Toad inside of Super Mario 64. Casey Manuar is the one that made this. 44 views 7 days ago. That's not bad. If it's only 1 star, by the way. The most popular one is New Mario Brothers 64 ROM hack demo, and that received over 1,100 views already. We also have a few interesting ones, like Super Mario 64 Beep Block Galaxy, which is more like a recreation of the Mario Galaxy level as well. Well, not total recreation, but more like a mechanic found in Mario Galaxy put into Mario 64. We also have a crossover, Super Mario 64 The Legend of Peach, which is basically the Legend of Zelda inside of Mario 64. So all these ROM hacks and the mini ROM hack 64 have something in common, less than 7 stars. And the first one I started with was Mario Soft's Climate Change 64, also made by Case Emanuar, as part of a special for Team Trees, which is done by Mr. Beast. Okay, but my point there is all these have something in common. Then we did our live streams for Mario Last Impact. We did not finish the game, unfortunately, just because it's too hard. It got too hard too fast. I'm like, hold on, let's slow down here. And then we have Mario 64 Magical Lands. It's not a bad ROM hack at all. It's actually a pretty fun one. I think I 100%ed this puppy. I don't know if I did, but I know we finished it. We also have Super Mario 64 Sapphire. This is an uploaded series, however. This was not live. We did have Super Mario 64 Rainbow World, which was live. We did Super Mario 64 Peach's Memory. We actually beat the main game, except for 1 star in a live stream. The last star is called the Peach's Nightmare. I actually beat it off camera, but I had to use save states, and usually I don't use save states on live streams unless I really have to. But the one that I really started to like more is Super Mario 64 Star World. This was also live. This is the first time I played a Casey Manuar hack. And you know what? He is a very good ROM hack creator. It's just that sometimes it's hard. But Star World, I think we finished. Or something. Or we did not finish Star World. Never mind. Because we ran out of time. Not ran out of time, but I wanted to get into other ROM hacks. Because if I kept playing the same one all over again, my theory was that was going to get boring after a while. But the game is fun. No cap. Then I did some tutorials for you guys, which is the reason why I'm going to bring up another point into our new direction, which I'll get to in just a bit. Now, what is the RetroYuuki VR Chat Productions channel? Basically, copy and paste of everything you just see here. Copy and paste of this, and this. That's it. Copy and paste everything. Maybe I'm not going to do that anymore. Maybe we'll just keep it on the main channel. So that's probably a change. I'll talk about that in a moment. How about the Francis the Hedgehog channel? This one needs to start soon. However, there is a little bit of a block. There's a little bit of a blockage, if you will. The block does not have to deal with the content. The content's fine. Francis the Hedgehog is going to react to... I'm going to put in the Be My Servant thing. The Be My Servant series here, too. So that's coming up. I just have to recopy and paste everything. That's all. But you might be wondering what happened to him being in VR chat. he's still going to be in VR chat. It's just that the model has been delayed because the artist has to do something. And I'm not going to blame him for it because, you know, VR chat model artists need their time. So I'm not going to go mad and angry. You know, that's how it goes sometimes. You just have to wait and wait. Remember, good things come to those who wait. That's the theory. And I'm going to wait. And it could be in 3 months. It could be during Emerald Peace. It could be during Wolf Ventures. You never know. But the point is, good things come to those who wait, especially with VR chat models. You got remember, like in basketball, you gotta practice your 3-point shooting, LeBron, especially LeBron, because he did not show up with the 3-pointer in the playoff. Anyway, there's a saying, let him cook, and in this case, Francis the Hedgehog needs to cook first before we get him for real very soon. Okay? Let him cook. That's the theory. That's the statement of the day. Now, what happened to RetroYuuki? What's going on with the RetroYuuki channel? Well, a few things. Number one, I uploaded the first gameplay of Doomblade, which is actually a pretty good game. I'm gonna tell you now, it's pretty neat. But it's hard, and I'm gonna tell you now, get ready to get frustrated 445 times. Because the game is hard. However, it's a really fun game. But I played off camera for a reason. Let me give you a snippet of this puppy right here. This game is hard, but it's in a good hard. It's a good hard. It's not. It's frustrating, yes, but it's not frustrating to the point where I want to quit and give up. It's frustrating in a way. It's a challenge game. It's a challenge, and it's pretty neat. As you can see here, I'm just slashing away and all that good, cool stuff. But what happened to the channel? Well, nothing. Basically, I'm just redoing it just to see how it hits and doesn't hit. I'm gonna upload parts 2 and 3 very soon, so get ready for that. Parts 2 and 3 are gonna get nuts. Okay, so that's what happened with the RetroYuuki channel. Francis the Wolf is basically an extra right now. For now, I'm still thinking of what I want to do there. Now, let's go over to the community tab because I do want to give you guys a little hint on the direction that we are going to go for RetroYuuki Gaming and RetroYuuki Productions. So on the community tab, we have this. So I gave you a poll. What types of games do you want to see live? This is for a video coming out today, which is this roundup. Right now, 2 votes in. All of you guys want AAA games, i.e., like Call of Duty, Fortnite, and all that cool stuff. There is a game I am eyeing out there and called Cyberpunk 2077. You might be wondering, wait a second, isn't that the worst game of all time? And if this was 2020 talk, yes. However, it has made a major comeback over the years, and I am happy to say that. Take a look at this. If we take a look at the Cyberpunk 2077, as you can see here, back in 2020, this game was in the mostly negative section. But with all the patches and all the upgrades, this thing went from mostly negative to mostly positive in 3 weeks, 3 years. If it was 3 weeks, hey, that would have been the best comeback ever. But 3 years later, this game is now in a very positive range. And if I told you guys I'm going to play Cyberpunk 2077 back in 2020, you would be laughing at me because it was a bad game then. But this game made a huge comeback, and it's now in a mostly positive rating. Same thing with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky went from very bad game to a very good game in a few years. Now, keep in mind, this is not the same for every game. It just so happens that Cyberpunk 2077 has CD Projekt Red on their side, and CD Projekt Red has done similar things. Back with The Witcher 3, I believe, they had a very bad game at launch, and then all of a sudden it went very good. And then there's a movie. There's a movie for Witcher 3. There's an anime inspired by Cyberpunk 2077. That anime helped not only helped out the game, but helped out the viewership. This game went from mostly negative to mostly positive in 3 years. And this is one of the games I'm eyeing out for our channel if we do the AAA route. And look at that, they have a free modding tool and free bonus content. So if this is a game you want me to try to play on this channel or a gaming channel, let me know in the comments, or I'll let you guys vote for it. But back to the channel itself. So obviously, we also have this. For the Mario ROM hacks, what do you want to see more? Uploads or live stream? 90% of you said uploads, which I had a feeling it was going to be that way. You know why? Because of the live stream numbers. I'll explain in a moment. Then, something new I'm coming up with. We're talking about gaming news. I was inspired by Young Yeah. So if you ever hear of Young Yeah, YONGYEA, he does commentaries of video games and all that cool stuff. So if you guys are interested in trying me to do something similar, and looks like you want me to do all types of gaming news, that's going to come up soon, but I'm not going to cover it yet. However, this week might be an exception because we have Summer Games Fest in about 4 days. 3 days, excuse me, which I'll talk about in a moment because it's going to tie into the content. Then we have a brand new thing that just released called the quiz. Now I'm talking about the community quiz feature, which you can see here above. So if you have community tab, you can play quiz game and you can ask your community question. And I decided to take advantage of this. How am I taking advantage of this? If you guys remember, the RetroYuuki podcast has educational material. Like I'm showing you guys how indie games work, how the studios, how we did a video where we compared AAA studios to indie game studios. We talked about the most common indie game mistakes. The correct answer for this question was, there is no way to hype the game, and the question was, why is it generally a mistake to market an indie game or any game very late into development? The correct answer is there is no way to hype the game, make content or mass marketing. And my explanation was, while all answers here are true, marketing the game way too late in development is a mistake because there is no way to hype the game. YouTube channels that cover video games can't hype the game up too much because there's very little development time left between the marketing and launch of the game. Marketing the game product early allows content creators to help with the hype for you. So like, for example, you have video game channels like mine, or like RetroYuuki, for example. I'm trying to check out indie games in that case. Okay, that still counts as hype because I'm showing you the game. I'm telling you, check out this game on Steam, and it's going to show you guys, oh, hey, I'm marketing the game too, albeit it's on a channel on YouTube. Okay? So that's what that's for. And then another question I gave you guys was not that one. That one was too easy. Let's do this question. Big data is presented in our podcast during Let's Talk in the Yuki and Yuki's VR chat zone. What site is presented when talking about data based on indie games on Steam? The correct answer is VG Insights. The reason why is because, yes, I do have to pay money for it, but it's giving me data to show you guys, hey, this is where the indie games are, or RPGs are popular, or adventure games are popular 55%. So that's where the data is coming from, VG Insights. Geek GEIQ is actually an interesting one because you can actually check out games there, but you have to pay for it, and it's an actual business platform. I I I asked for a demo, but in order to pay to get it like for real, you have to pay like $12,000 a month. I'm like, no, no thanks. Like, nope, nope. That's for business people. But Devin Nash can do it because he runs his own agency, Novo. So that's why if you've seen Devin Nash, he has a lot of data analysis of video game. So that's pretty cool. Okay, that's I think it for the community tab. And but the big boy question is this: what do you want me to see live? And looks like so far right now, as of this recording, assuming that anything changes, AAA games is going to be the boys. When I say indie games, I'm talking about something like Doomblade. When I say AAA games, I mean something like Cyberpunk 2077, because they are made by a AAA studio, and that means CD Projekt Red. If I'm talking about multiplayer games, I'm talking about something like Fortnite or COD. If I'm talking about single player games, I'm talking about any single player game like indie games or AAA game that can come out. Okay? Now, let's talk numbers, because this is what is like why I'm doing this. Okay, let's talk some numbers here. So if you like numbers, this is for you. Let's go over to our creator dashboard and talk about the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Why are we going back to tutorials? Why are we going back to tutorials, number one? Why are we going to do different content, number two? So let's talk about the obvious one. Let's go to analytics. So what is making the channel pop? So right now there's 14,900 views. 14,989. No, 14,899. Basically 14,900. Let's just round it up. Okay? Watch time is 381.1. 389.1, which is 389.1. Typical is 360 to 450 hours. Subscribers, which is going to be 10, at least for this month, which is 15 less than last year. I mean, not last year, last month. Estimated revenue, I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's the same thing, same deal. However, you may have noticed something else. If we pay attention to the top content this period, by this period, we're talking about 28 months, 28 days, or basically the last month. As you can see here, majority, or actually all of these, are actually in one particular category, a channel, and that is tutorials. But wait, didn't you just upload something today, like a VR chat video like this one, Kyle meets Gia the Wolf? And the answer is yes. However, why is it not in the top 10? To break into the top 10, a video on my channel needs to have at least 284 views, that being this one. So that means it has to beat this tutorial, Moodebot tutorial, how to add a GIF to a character. In order to be top 10, it has to be 284. This is nowhere near close. However, I do appreciate any views I get. What about the Fiona video? The Fiona versus Kyle video I uploaded, huh? Well, that video, let me just look for it. That video in particular, if we take a look at this, that video in particular got 72 views. Now, it's obviously it's a top 10 this week, but it's not top 10 of all time. You might be wondering, wait, it's a good video. Yes, it is. But there's a reason why it's not up there. It's because it's not 284. And it's not getting, why is it not recommended in the algorithm? The way YouTube works, ladies and gentlemen, is the way it works is the more engagement you get on it. But it has 7 comments. Here's the deal. Here's the deal with that though. How many comments does this video have how to do controller input? If we take a look at this and look at the graph, let's take a look at the comment section, at least for this particular video. Do you guys see a trend? This video has over 10. Counting replies and counting other stuff. And if we take a look at the graph, like the view graph, this puppy went from 8 when I first uploaded all the way to 12,000 plus. Let's see where it's at right now. 11,973. By typical. And when I say typical performance, when they say typical performance on YouTube, they're talking about typical videos of this particular content and particular based on the channel. 10 to 30 views, that's it. That means this video, along with all my other content tutorials, has been doing a lot better than anything else. Let's take a look at another video in the same category. Moodybot. I'm gonna still do tutorials for this puppy. There's another tutorial I'm working on, and it's a brand new feature finally that was just added. You know, might be wondering why they just say finally, because it's been a while since they added a feature, and it's called tags, and I'm going to make a video for it very soon for this particular thing. As you can see here, look at this. 116,900 and something. This video has been watched 2,200 and something hours. That means if I just uploaded this video, assuming that I did not have monetization yet, this means that I already put up half of the hours I need for monetization. And this thing has gotten me 70 subscribers since. And yes, because this is monetized, $14. Okay? Now, what does this have to do with today's topic of direction? I think it's clear. I think it's clear to you guys where this is going. A lot of tutorials have helped me get to where we are. Now, this doesn't mean I'm not going to stop doing VR chat. I'm still doing VR chat material because we're doing our MOPs. We're doing Roof Ventures. We're doing Francis the Hedgehog whenever he comes in. I'm going to tell you now, the direction of the channel is tutorials. It's just that I haven't, like, harnessed that puppy yet. And we're going to do more emulation stuff. It's been a while, but it's coming back. So, what's the next topic? The next topic is going to be about where I'm going to play it. How I'm going to play this year. And here's where I'm going to play it. Okay. Talk about the recent content here. We're talking about VR chat, we're talking about tutorials, we're talking about everything here. If we take a look at the recent content, VR chat is obviously one. Reaction videos is another one. Okay? And the podcast for VR chat is another one. So what's the go-to here? Well, it will depend on what you guys vote on and how I feel. Here's where my play is. Here's where we're gonna go into the whole let's talk a new direction, shall we? So, is it going to be possible where we're gonna make a gaming channel? Yes, it is possible. Is it going to be this week? We'll see. Okay, because what my thing is that if I do make a gaming channel, I have to remake a channel. Because there's a difference between making a brand new channel and remaking a current existing channel. If you make a brand new channel, you have to start over. And I don't think nobody wants that. Now, there's a difference between starting over because of a hack and starting over because of a new direction. Starting over because of a hack is obviously what it is. If somebody hacked your channel, then yes, start over. But if you're making a new channel just to make new content, that's not a good idea. Okay? There's a difference between the two. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking of doing. There was at one time a RetroYuuki live channel. I think I removed it. However, if we look at the channel, assuming that this wants to work. Whoa. Okay. Assuming that this thing wants to work, thank you very much. We do have an Indie Yuki channel. If indie games don't work, congratulations, this becomes our gaming channel. If indie games don't work. Okay. But that's only if indie games do not work here. Because if they do, then we already have a established indie game channel. Now, would it be live streams? That is to be announced because right now, if we take a look at it, the only channel that's above the surplus of live streaming is the Mario channel. How do I know this? Well, if we take a look at the stats here, let's go back to the channel analytics. If you go to content and you go to, I believe, video, actually, excuse me, analytics tab, and you go to content, we go to content, I believe it's in content rule. Let's see. Excuse me. It's in the audience tab. So go to analytics in your YouTube studio, go to audience, and you're gonna see this. Formats your viewers watch on YouTube. This is brand new statistic. Last 28 days. A lot of people watch the videos and the shorts, although I have not posted a YouTube short for who knows how long. However, when we go to live streams, you may have noticed that it's in the middle. It's like and like yeah and nah, or like it's like in the middle. So as you can see here, that's why I'm like a little bit skeptical. But if it's VR chat, that's a whole different story because everybody wants the VR chat content here. So that's why it's a little bit in the meh, little bit in the middle. If it's any other game like Call of Duty, Mario, or anything else, then it's in the middle. But if it's a VR chat live, like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, tomorrow Francis the Wolf, by the way, then everybody wants to watch. But then if it's Mario, Pokemon, or anything else, then it goes down to the middle. But wait a moment. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Because if we take a look at the Mario channel, Mario 64, let's see the results of that one. We're going back to the same tab, Analytics. We're going to Audience. The only difference here is this channel is not making money because it's not monetized. Because I don't have enough. But if we go look at this, whoa, all of a sudden, every category is over to the way to the everybody watches category. As you can see here. So the videos everybody watch, that's obvious. Shorts everybody watches because there are no shorts on this channel. I don't think. And then everybody watches the live streams. Assuming that I do live stream on this channel. Okay? So that's very interesting. Okay? But let's take a look at the other channels too. Let's take a look at the VR chat roleplay. Which is this puppy right here. Same thing. We're going to take a look at analytics. We're going to go to the audience tab. Let's have a look. No, actually it's not. There's not enough data because this is still new. But the idea is here. Okay, let's look at Let's take a look at another channel, Francis the Hedgehog. Let's just say, for example. Let's see if it's actually up here, because it might not. Analytics, audience. No, it's not enough. There's not enough data points for me to to analyze this channel yet, because it's not up yet. But I have a feeling it's more on videos than anything else. So that's a little crash course on viewing your analytics. At the same time, showing you guys where the direction of this channel is. So the question is, what's going to happen in the future? Well, obviously. So let's take a look at the obvious. VR chat is not going anywhere. It's still going to be on the main channel. But I'm going to include more tutorials. And as promised, whatever you guys vote for on the poll, which right now is on the AAA games like Cyberpunk 2077. And actually, the gaming news is going to be a thing now. Okay. So gaming news is going to be a new thing that's coming out. And the first thing I'm going to cover is going to be the upcoming Summer Games Fest. But let's talk about what else I want to talk about for this particular roundup, because I know it is a long episode, but it's going to give you guys a hint on what I want to try to cover. So here's what happens with this thing here. If we're going to go to the AAA route, we're going to go Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to do the Resident Evil 4 remake, which I'm still trying to get into. We're going to do Dead Island 2, the one that takes place in the fictional version of Los Angeles. And then we're going to do whatever comes out in Summer Game Fest. Speaking of, that might be one of the first topics I'm going to cover in the gaming podcast. Summer Games Fest is June 8th. That's in 3 days. That's basically on Thursday, I believe. Is that on Thursday? Yeah. Yeah, June 8th is on Thursday. They're gonna do the Summer Game Fest. They're also gonna doing Day of the Developers and the return of Volley back gamers. And then they also have June 10, which is going to be on Saturday. They're going to have the OTK Expo. So if you guys do not know what that is, it's basically Asmongold. He's a YouTuber who does gaming like this. He actually has his own thing. OTK is One True King, by the way, I believe. Oh, One True King, I believe, is what it's called. So he has his own group called OTK, and I believe Asmongold is the leader. I know he has two more. I watched Asmongold on TV. I mean, not TV, but on YouTube, because I first started learning about him through just watching commentaries. And he also does reaction videos. He also does World of Warcraft. He plays Fall Guys sometimes, but most of his time is on WoW. And he does come to LA once in a while. And it just so happens that he's going to be doing this OTK Games Expo with Summer Games Fest. And then June 11, if you guys are interested, they're going to be covering Xbox and Starfield. The big game of 2023 is going to be Starfield. Is it going to be a good one? And then PC gaming show, June 11 is going to be for us PC gamer. And it's in Los Angeles. Okay, I mean, yeah, YouTube Theater here in LA. So there's a lot of gaming stuff on the board already that we can cover for that podcast. And that podcast does not have to be limited to indie games. It's also AAA. Oh, and wait a moment, there's more. This game, Zombie Soup. I am playing this off camera. This game off camera looks great. Looks good. Doomblade. I'm already playing this off camera. I'm loving the graphics and stuff. This is gonna get covered. Oh, but wait, there's more. Who wants some fan games? Sonic Auxiliary or anything on Game Jolt is considered to be a fan game. There's more games to cover. So that podcast comes in a ripe time as we get ready for Summer Games Fest, and I'm gonna cover more of the indie games. So yes, I think we just made a good direction switch, kind of. So that's what's going on. So any if you have any questions about where we're headed to, I'm happy to answer them in the comments below. Keep in mind though that not all games are gonna be a hit. Keep in mind you're gonna have your duds once in a while, and no game is perfect, and that's okay. Just remember that fan games are not to be are not to be are not to be missed. If you see one that you want me to play, I will play. As long as it's something that I can play either for free or pay for $10 or less. The only game that's not gonna be $10 or less if I go for it is gonna be the big A games, the triple A games, like the Cyberpunk. Okay, so that's it for today's roundup. I know it's a long one, but it has to be done. Big direction change and all that good stuff. We'll see you guys maybe later today. I'm still thinking, but I'm gonna have another VR chat video for you guys. Okay, actually, I'm gonna be talking about a topic that I think you guys need to worry about if you are a Call of Duty fan. There's been a little bit of no good in the Call of Duty universe. So we'll be talking about that. We'll see you guys very soon for that.